We back. We just finished this here beat. This is fucking sick, dude. Let's export it. Let's export this motherfucker. It's the last beat. We'll call it something like it has the vibe of like gotta get out of here. Here beats. New songs October. Bada bing. Bada bing. Very cool. Very cool.
From my big wireless carrier and got with Red Pocket Mobile. No more spending big money on loud.
Your face in that video, it's so funny.
Something else to mention about this hole they found too is to get to the hole, it requires at least a half hour to an hour of cave diving to get there. There's like ropes you have to rappel down, there's these rock walls you have to climb, you have to crawl on your belly at certain parts. Like it takes an hour of caving to get to this hole. So if something goes wrong, it's not just like you walk out and you're done. You're still trapped down there.
Run away.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do the classic Scooby-Doo gang run. You know what I mean? They run in place and run away. It's just something where it's like, well, if you're down there, you're fucked. I mean, like, there's no getting away from anything. Like, it's a trap, basically. It's interesting, too, because they also say that the entryway used to be really pretty when it was probably first discovered, like, 2 decades ago, which, if this came out in 2000, you have to assume that maybe this cave was uncovered in, like, the 80s. But now it's, like, covered in graffiti. There's, like, beer cans
Oh, I
down
can't
there
save
for people
that
who
fucking
kind
son
of
of
go
a
near
bitch.
the entryway, but they have, like, actively crawled and gone deeper into the cave where no one has been, and it just sets up something almost like who knows what's behind this wall. Now their whole objective with this first entry here, they're so curious about this passage in Floyd's tomb that they're going to try and enlarge the hole to where they can crawl into it, which of course is like much more difficult than, you know, you can't just like take a hammer to it. It takes tons of tools and time, which is pretty much what starts to happen over the next couple passages here.
It's so fascinating. Like, I'm horrified of caves. I'm horrified of any tight spaces. I remember I went on a field trip when I was in high school where we went to the Lost Caves in like eastern Tennessee, and they had these areas that were only like, you know, 8-9 feet long that you could like dive in. Like, you could put your hands in front of your head and like crawl through them or whatever. And even then, I remember doing that. You don't think about it until you're in the situation, but more than likely every surface or every like thing that you've been around, there has been some level of give to it. Like, even if you're under a rock and you start to move, the ground
Why does it make me log in to fucking pull open the program?
Right? But in the rocks of a cave, it's like you feel something touching your chest and back at the same time, and there is an immediate chill that goes down your spine of absolute unforgiving. That's what all the rocks feel like. I'm so terrified of that, and I think of that all the time. But the way Ted in the beginning of the story describes how incredible it would be to step foot, like you said, a virgin pathway on a surface that man's never touched before, I was like, well, you know what? Maybe I would in this circumstance. Yeah. Like, he does a great job at conveying that.
Yeah, he paints like a very beautiful thing, which that's the thing too, is like the first passage here on the December 30th passage is him saying like, you know, they're very excited about the remarkableness of this cave and the prospect of exploring a new kind of exciting path, and they definitely plan on returning. Like, you could tell how...
Who cares? Who cares? Damn it. Fuck. What's good, you pale twat? What's up? How's your day going, you pale twat? Oh wait, undo that. What's up? Album that's coming out in a few days called Cursed with a Y. Cursed with a Y. This beat I just made for my new self-produced album that's coming out in a few days called Cursed with a Y. How's your day going, you pale twat? Check out this beat I just made for my new self-produced album that's coming out in a few days called Cursed with a Y. Do, do.
excited they are at the beginning. And it kind of just, the first passage just concludes with them talking about basically them leaving the cave and them just being like, cool, let's do this. But the next entry isn't until January 27th to 28th of 2001. So almost like a whole month passes before they return. And that's whenever he returns with B and they start descending back down, except this time they bring a DeWalt cordless drill, masonry bits, sledgehammers, bullpens, and other tools, facing the challenge to actually make some kind of entryway into this hole. Because like we said, it's only a fist big, so they're having to pound into earth and take shifts doing so, often yielding only small pieces like the size of your fingernail. This is an excerpt from the story. To begin work, we had to get down our hands and knees, to our best to avoid smacking our heads on the ceiling. Working in this awkward position, we would drill into the wall around the hole. That was the difficult work. We really had to push on the drill, and it was still a slow progress. Then we inserted the bullpen into the hole and hammered on until the rock broke up. Then we would repeat the process.
Till the
To give
rock
you an idea
broke
of how
up.
slow it went, the typical size of the rock that would break off was about a fingernail size. If we broke off a large piece, about a quarter of the scale of the palm, it would cause for celebration. Which, you know, if I'm being honest, too much work. I would immediately give up. I'd be like, okay, and I'm done.
The first piece falls and you're like, oh, this is going to be longer than like a 15-minute, half-hour thing.
Yeah. Or even like, yeah, just like a couple hour thing. If the first piece that came off and I was bringing industrial like tools, like a DeWalt drill and shit, and it was just a fingernail, I'd be like, okay, don't think so.
They
But then
mentioned
again,
at one point, they're like, oh, maybe
Yeah.
we could pull a generator up to the mouth of the cave and run a jackhammer down here. Could you imagine carrying like an 80-pound jackhammer?
Yeah,
like
crawling with it?
through a cave? Yeah, absolutely not. Not
Yeah,
worth it.
no, there's no way. And that's what I was gonna say too. Is like, I say that I would give up, but if my fat ass had to like actually crawl down a cave for 45 minutes to even get to the hole, I'd probably be like, well, fuck it, I'm already here.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
What am I gonna do? Crawl back up? Like, yeah.
After hours of labor, they identified battery life as a limiting factor of the two batteries. They brought drain quickly, ending their first session, which, you know, that's whenever they kind of pondered the idea of maybe the jackhammer, but they
How would happy birthday sound if...
It's okay. Someone will come through sooner or later.
They were just like, "What? Who the fuck are we kidding?" But then they did begin to notice a weird howling and rumbling noise, unexplained by outside factors. B planned to consult veteran cavers for insights, and I just wanted to do this little deal because I love this little excerpt. It says, "Then we noticed the howling again. It seemed to be a little louder than the last time we were there. We just figured the wind was blowing a little stronger outside. What we could not figure out was the rumbling. It too seemed to be louder and more frequent. This time, we could not attribute the noise to trucks. The road that the trucks drove on was not very busy to begin with. At that time of night, it should be dead, yet the rumbling continued. It seemed to be coming from deep within the passage." I love the little, like, it's just little crumbs of things. And it's nothing too crazy, but it's enough to be almost believable while you're reading it. It's almost like you picture the rumbling in your head, like what that sounds like in a cave.
Yeah.
Which also, to be fair, I would be like, you guys are probably, your eardrums are probably fucking pulsating inside your head because you've like been jamming. You've been in a small cave hammering, drilling with a DeWalt drill bit. It could be that, but to have that question feels very, very creepy. They get exhausted after all of these interactions in the cave, or like after working, they get exhausted, and instead of driving home, they just kind of stay in a motel and they kind of just talk about how they're going to approach things. And they do this from time to time, not going home. They just kind of charge their batteries and then come back the next day. But the subsequent day mirrored basically what they did the first day. A bunch of intense work and kind of just some mysterious cave noises, but nothing too crazy. And that's where the second journal entry closes. It's them kind of just being like, yeah, it's weird, but we're going to keep going. Still not shaken.
At that point in the story, it's subtle enough, the fear, that it's kind of justifiable to ignore it, right? Like, you know, caves make weird noises. Maybe, they mentioned later, maybe there's a waterfall somewhere. Maybe it's the road. It's creepy, of course, but it's just enough on the edge of, like, understandable that you could see why they justify it. I can't say that about their later decisions, but right now...
Yeah, like, the excitement is still in the air enough to where, which I'm pretty sure B at first is... more like, hey, did you hear that?
Yeah.
And the guy, and Ted is more just like, dude, it's nothing. Just keep going. And he's just excited to see what's happening.
What are we gonna?
How's your day going, you pale twat?
Sorry, editing a video real quick.
What's up? How's your day going, you pale twat? Check out this beat I just... How's your day? What's up? What's up? How's your day? What's up? How's your day going, you pale twat? What's up? How's your day going, you pale twat? Check out this beat I... What's up? How's your day going, you pale twat? Check out this beat I just made for my new self-produced album. Self-produced album. Pale twat. Check out this beat I just made for my new self-produced album. A few days called Cursed with... It's called Cursed with a Y. How's your day going, you pale twat? Check out this beat I just made for my new self-produced album that's coming out in a few days called Cursed with a Y. Produced album that's coming out in a few days called Cursed with a Y.
This video is gonna be sweet. Didn't think I could make something this sweet with the phone. CapCut's dope. Do, 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 do. I wish I could like.
Do
Yeah, I can
not
let that
break
play for the
into a
fucking
cave.
stream. I don't
Are we
know
not going to sit here for
shit, man.
70 consecutive hours chipping away, getting nail-sized bits of rock off here? Come on,
And
dude.
you're gonna let a
Terrible,
little earthquake scare you. Okay.
Good
Yeah,
Lord.
exactly. Yeah, you're gonna let rocks caving in on your body, never to be found, scare you. Cool.
I guess history won't remember you then, loser.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Floyd's Doom Part 2 belongs to me, I guess. But in Journal 3, he kind of goes into some cave lingo. He starts by saying, I noticed that I was writing in a vernacular that's probably known to me, and he kind of just really goes into depth about what caving is and kind of some of the things he was doing in terms of like his crawling positions and stuff. He kind of just gives a more in-depth breakthrough of what spelunkers have to do while caving, how weird the walls are, how tricky it is just to get to the hole when crawling through. And he really paints a picture that like, okay, well, this isn't like as casual as they were kind of leading up before. And what I love about that too is I was reading it and I was just like, dude, this sucks. This sounds terrible. Before he makes it sound like he's just like, oh, I'm just gonna hop in and we approached the hole. I wanted to check this out. But this time now he's like, there's like weird vertical walls. I have to shimmy on my belly here. I was kind of nervous to even go through this hole, but I did it anyways. You know, there's water in some areas, which also just scares me. Imagine I know there's that one TikTok video of the guy who's like in a cave and it's half of his face is in water and he's like, oh, I think the cave's
Oh
flooding.
my gosh,
Have you seen that?
video? Yes.
Oh, God, fuck that, dude.
And he makes some comment like,
Oh my god. I think I'm stuck.
oh my gosh,
It's the worst.
bro.
I hate it so much, dude.
Imagine
I hate
dying
it.
that way where you have hours to think about it, you know?
Oh, man.
Oof.
I feel like you'd probably go
Yeah.
insane, right? You would probably clinically have to be like going through the stages of grief in your head for your own death.
Yeah.
And I think that I mean, I would hope I would just go insane and just like, I don't know, drown myself or
It'd
something.
be
I
so
don't know.
much better to like become non-lucid, right? To lose
Yeah,
your mind,
definitely.
suffocate.
Yeah.
I think I'd just put my face down in the water. Be like, maybe I can drown.
That's what
this
I'm
out.
saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it, dude. I'll just go to sleep and just stay here. Fuck it.
There was one
What was
video I saw of a dude caving. He wasn't in water, but he was in a similar condition. And oh man, I don't know what kind of spiders they are, but there's like a bunch of cave spiders down there with him, and he runs into a nest, and they just start running all over him, like he gets swarmed in there.
Oh.
They're all. They're raining down on me now.
Like, bro.
I can't remember if it's that. I think that's the guy who it's him and his son do spelunking, and it's him like very casual about it. But I don't know. But I have so little sympathy too because I'm just like, why are you down there? Why are you down there?
It's all self-inflicted. If
Supposed to pretty
someone
good
was
human head so
kidnapped and
far.
thrown in a
Shit,
cave,
man.
I'd feel horrible.
While I was reading this too, because they do say that obviously from the passage in the
In,
hole, they can feel a
Blender.
breeze coming out of like the
Kind
hole
of
that they're
a-
trying to
kind
chip
of-
away at.
kind
But
of
I
a
was
goated
wondering, I'm like, I
skill to
wonder how
have
much
these
oxygen really is
things.
down
Can do
there,
so
because that's like a
much,
thing too
dude.
that cavers fear about is that if the farther you go down, the tighter the space. If you're there and you're pinned and you like are sucking up all the oxygen and just breathing out all that fucking what the fuck do you breathe out? God.
Carbon dioxide.
Yeah, dioxide, whatever. You can just suffocate just by simply being there. Just like, well, I was breathing here, but I breathed out all the air.
Just by existing.
Even just by being stuck, you could just like, oh, I'm out of air.
There's a video, but are you familiar with Jacob Geller?
Yeah.
Have you seen his Fear of the Depths video?
Yes, I have.
Oh my gosh, bro. When he's describing caves as a living organism, that you're effectively in the digestive tract of like a dragon.
Yeah.
And you just have to try to not die. Ugh.
Makes me think of the movie we talked about last year, Borderlands.
I was thinking of Borderlands. Yeah.
Exactly. But it's such a cool theory and thought. They finally make some progress to where they're opening it up a bit more. Ted is still very optimistic, and he's kind of like looking at the hole like he's just like, I can fit in there. Fuck it. I remember that I frequently looked at the hole and thought, hey, it's big enough. I think I can squeeze through, only to be disappointed in my attempt. However, even after the first attempt and failure,
Oh,
I
yeah,
knew
this-
that I would
this
keep
probably gonna
working
go
on the
hard.
hole until I got through. This despite the fact
This is
that
probably
I
gonna
knew
go
it
extra
would take
hard.
many more hours of hard work. It actually became an obsession with me. I tried to get out of the cave and work as often as I could. I hoped that the passage led to a larger, undiscovered cave and that we would be the first ones to enter. I guess the explorer in me wanted to find a new frontier there in the cave. Since B is such an avid caver, he was motivated by the same desire to find a new, unexplored cave. What we did find was not all that was expected. Which is a fun way to end the journal. I love that ending to the journal entry. It's kind of weird because, yeah, he's like scratching at the, it's like a dog scratching at the door to like get out or get in, whatever. He's like making a little progress and he's like trying to squeeze in but can't actually do it, and they keep coming back quite frequently to actually work on the cave. I bring this up because after a while, you know, they will not be as excited to return to the cave. But now they are still, you know, coming back to the cave. They're still pushed by the potential discovery of being in some place that no one's ever been before, and they've even discussed some of the theories of what the rumbling is, and you know, they're talking about maybe it's just some water, like a river, or like some kind of weird underground river that they just haven't seen yet, and they're kind of like, you know, sidestepping being scared. They're a little spooked, but they're like, hey, it's probably water. This is where we start getting some fun scares, which is in the Journal 4 entry where they go at night, and this time B brings his dog, Whip. Terrible name for a dog.
True.
If I'm being honest, just me being a
Yeah,
petty
that's
man
the
and
problem
being a
with
bit of a-
it. That's the problem with it. The
Hate
dog's
that.
the
name.
problem.
Not
It was
bringing
just
the
the
dog
name,
down
that's
into the cave, just what they did.
Yeah, no. Him bringing his dog down into the weird rumbling cave isn't a big deal. It's the name.
the
How
name,
dare you?
Of course.
I didn't mind bringing Whip along because we plan on putting her into a small hole to see how far in the passage she would go. That's kind of animal torture. That might give us an idea of what's on the other side. They were going to bring this small dog and be like, get in there, Whip, see what's back there.
Go, Whip, you can do it.
God forbid, I'm like, God, I hope the dog comes back. Holy shit.
I did think that part was kind of brutal because it's like,
I did too.
sure, the dog, like maybe it runs around caves or something, but you don't know what's back there. It could be like a drop off or something. You don't know where you're sending the dog.
This time, though, they made it down much quicker because they didn't bring all these
Can I,
tools.
like-
They just brought the dog. So this time
Can
they
I,
were able
like-
to get to the hole much
Oh, yeah, I
quicker
need to
and
put
easier,
fucking
and they were feeling pretty
words.
comfortable. But as they were crawling down, the dog Whip became increasingly more anxious as they got deeper inside and near the work site. The dog kind of got a little sketchy, and these are just some excerpts from Whip's adventure, as it were. The dog began exploring as soon as we let her off the rope. She was in hog heaven, sniffing and darting around our feet. She would run from one person to the other as we made our way back to the work site. At the point the cave splits into 4 passages, the dog seemed to run out of juice. She just stuck right by either B or me. That seemed kind of odd. As we progressed further into the cave, she would stay by B. She seemed edgy, like she saw something she didn't like. As we approached the short drop-off before the hole, she stopped and would only come further after we coaxed her. The hair on her back stood on end. Finally, as we got within 20 feet of the hole, she began to whimper and hide behind B. Her tail was between her legs, and she was cowering down on the ground. Strange. I've seen her square off at dogs twice her size, but now she's acted as if Satan himself was lurking in the darkness. I figured there must have been animals that used the cave as a home, and Whip smelled their scent. Too bad it upset her, because there was no way she was going into that passage. Which, thankfully, when I first was hearing the story, I was like, God, please do not force the dog into the small hole. The dog's like, please, God, get me out of
It's
here. And
crying
they're just
and
like, all
yelping,
right,
and they're
Whip,
like, "Go ahead, Whip, just
get on in there, Whip.
load her in." To their credit, they don't put the dog in there when they see it's.
They do
first.
not put the dog in. We want to make that very clear. They did not put the dog in. But when they were working, this is what the dog was doing. The entire time we worked, Whip did not move. She just laid there on a rope bag, shivering. She would whimper from time to time. One thing I didn't think about at the time was that she would not take her eyes off the hole. We should have made more of an observation of the intuition of an animal. If a small dog was whimpering, shivering, I probably wouldn't just stay down there and open the hole. I probably would just be like, this is a bad idea. But you know what? They're down there. What are they supposed to do?
It looks at the hole you're working on and starts crying, and they're like, "Wimp, what a loser."
Yeah, exactly. God, Whip, you pussy, Jesus.
Amateur hour down here.
Yeah, good lord.
This hole that periodically makes grinding and moaning noises. What's your problem?
I think about my dog. Like, there's been times where I'm like laying in my bed and I like look up, my dog's just like staring there, like looking at a wall. I'm like, what are you looking at? Stop! Or it'll just be like he's just like looking at a door, and I'm like, is someone breaking into my house? Like, I get very afraid. I would immediately look at that and be like, this is like a haunted cave. We gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Haunted cave, haunted hole. But there's also another weird, strange occurrence, which is while they're chipping away at the hole, the progress is slow. B hears unexplainable grinding noises, and they both notice that the wind is stopping coming through the tunnel. B was working. He had had just finished drilling a hole and was getting ready to hammer the bullpen when he stopped working and looked into the hole. He had a light by his side to illuminate the work area. I could see the eerie glow, a puzzled and intense look on his face.
Fuck.
He looked over at me and shook his head. I asked him what was up. He said he swore he just heard a strange noise emanating from the hole. He said it sounded like rock sliding on rock, sort of a grinding sound. I assumed his ears were just ringing from the drill. He didn't wear any earplugs this trip. He assured me he had heard what he had said he heard. I didn't have an explanation, so I went back to dozing. B sat in quiet of the cave for a long time before he resumed work. He would stop from time to time just to listen. B is very grounded and not one to pursue some imaginary sound. Starting to get into some more of the creepy territory. One of the guys is starting to hear some shit, but still, it's kind of like, dude, B, you're acting crazy, bro. He just goes back napping. I thought that was kind of funny. God, it's not that big of a deal, B. Jesus. Just immediately starts snoring.
We're in a cave throwing rocks, and you heard a rock make a noise. Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Wow, dude. You gotta get your head checked on, dude. You and Whip are fucking up today.
Maybe Ted's just a jerk. Maybe that's...
Yeah, he is a jerk. As I was kneeling there contemplating how close we were, I noticed something that B overlooked. The wind had stopped. At all of the times I'd ever been in the cave, I've always felt the wind blowing. The last time we were out working on the cave, the wind was blowing worse than ever. Even earlier, we remember the breeze cooling us off, but now, nothing. B said he did not know when it stopped. The rumbling had ceased too. Bizarre. Which is just like, huh, weird. The breeze has stopped. We're sweating up a storm down here. That's kind of weird, huh?
Hey man, you know how every cave we've ever been in has wind and it's never quit ever? Probably nothing to worry about.
It's almost as if there's a box fan plugged in on the other side, blowing constant air on us. Yeah, that stopped, B. Did you see that, man?
Right after I heard the rock noises.
When did this happen? He's like, I don't really know. Was just working. He's like, B, you gotta be a little more intuitive than
like,
that.
Oh, good. Slacking on the job. I see. Huh?
It's slacking on the job. Anytime in these passages, I love when they show the pictures. Which definitely, whoever wrote this, there is an argument to be made that they probably were a caver,
Right,
and
so
I think
what
that they
else do I
took these
need?
photos themselves of like maybe some random cave they were.
I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, they found the real Ted, and he is in fact a spelunker.
Right now, my hobby is disc golf. Before that, it was mountain biking. Before that, it was caving.
It was some.
That sounds like fucking. Who's that actor? I can't
Something
I don't know
about
his
like
name.
he saw this hole.
My buddy Brad,
I know his face.
who is B in the story, had planned a trip out to this cave we had been to many times to explore this hole.
On one of their excursions or something like that, and be like, hey, it'd be real messed up if something scary was behind that, and then that's what like started the story. So yeah, these are real pictures.
So when I got done, I thought I ought to take my caving journal, which I'd been keeping in journal the whole time, and just publish it online. And then I just had the thought, why don't I embellish it a little bit, make it interesting?
That is not the time to joke. You know, it'd be really fucked up as if there was like a weird gremlin, like goblin down here. Right?
Yeah.
Hey, did you see that super long-horned demon at the end of the hallway there? He was laughing. Oh, you didn't? I'm just messing with you, man. Let's keep going. It's like, what? Fuck you, Ted. Like, look at these photos, too. I was like, God, how has there not been just a found footage film of this? Like, point of view, just him, like, pushing through. Oh, God. It would be so fucking awesome to see this turned into a movie, man. Mm-hmm. But that was the end of Journal 4, and then Journal 5, which is interesting, is they don't go back till March 3rd. So by this point, I mean, it's been 3 months that they've been at this hole, like chipping away at it and doing stuff, but they don't actually officially do a return until March 3rd, which now, this time, the team's attitude shifted from, oh, this is an adventure, to due to kind of some of the previous stuff before, now they're a bit more spooked, I think. But once again, the thrill, it's very like almost Lovecraftian of like, it's so unknown, it's kind of driving them insane, and they feel so compelled to go back. Their conversations this time are a lot more subdued, they're not as jokey, focusing on rational explanations for all the things that are going on. They don't really discuss the cave with anybody else. That's one thing that they made a note of saying, is he's like, people ask about the cave, but we never talk about it. So it's just like a conversation between them, which, you know, lighten up, Ted. Come on, man. You can't, how would you not go into a cave and be like, it was weird is there was like these rumbling sounds. B was being a pussy and so was his dog, but I started noticing that there was no breeze down there. So we were like, what the hell? You know, we're sweating down there like pigs. And like I said, that's when I saw the rock goblin. I didn't tell B because I didn't want him freaking out too much.
When they're on the drive back, he's like, yeah, so you see that thing?
Yeah, you saw that rock goblin, right? He was like 8 feet tall. He was on his belly. Did you not see him? Oh, dude, it was crazy. That's kind of funny to paint Ted as like this like totally oblivious like bro who's just like down there spelunking. Oh, you didn't see it? Oh, dude, it was sick.
Maybe we'll figure out what's making the noises, all that. Ted's like, oh, bro, that guy? Yeah, what's up? What, you missed him? Oh, man, that sucks. Yeah, he was cool. Yeah, he looked chill.
Dude, he had orange eyes and no teeth. You didn't see that?
He had orange eyes and no teeth. Bro, you would have loved it, man.
Oh, man, you would have loved that, dude. He was funny looking. It's like, Jesus, what? So like I said, this time they go back in March. They start in the afternoon to avoid traffic, which last time they went at night. I don't think they ever go back during the day now, if I remember right. They all just kind of like always go back towards afternoon and
They
night,
do on the very last trip, but the rest, I think,
okay,
are
that's
at
right,
night.
that's right.
Yeah.
They had kind of a solemn mood this time. The rock goblin joke didn't land. B's a bit more, he's a little more high-strung this time. The descent was efficient, but B sustained a minor injury. I forgot, did he slip here?
When the story starts, it says that B had injured himself like a year ago, and he was still recuperating. So it's some previous injury that he's getting better from.
That's right. So he can't do as much as Ted, which Ted kind of knows that. And I think he always kind of keeps that in mind. He's like, I know he can't do that because he's kind of injured. Also, I think B's a bit bigger than Ted. So I don't even think that, I think they both know too that like only Ted's going in this hole.
Right.
Like B can't fit.
They even mentioned later on that they need a skinnier person if anyone's going to go. So
yeah, exactly. This time they both noted though the return of the mysterious breeze and the rumbling sound. So those are back. Thank God. So Ted says,
I was kneeling down and working the drill slowly into the wall at the time. I had my earplugs in, my safety glasses on, and I was lost in my own thoughts. Suddenly,
Album out tonight. Hey, Young Skirt, dropping at 9.
It was loud. It would frequently
dropping in 5
complain about
minutes.
screeching and whining as we forced it into the wall, but this was different. It took me several full seconds to comprehend that this was coming from inside the hole and not the bed.
so now even I think Ted's getting a little scared.
every horror story has a turnaround point for me, right? Like, this is the part where I lose my sympathy. And, like, I get the power of exploration. I get wanting to go caving. I get even justifying the rolling rock and stuff. Hearing a sustained 5-second scream that he later describes as a combination of a cougar and a dying man, I have no sympathy. If you're not immediately hightailing it out of there, don't care.
Dude, B, I don't think that was the drill bit. He's like, yeah, no shit, Ted. He's like, yo, what the hell? That's like 5 seconds long.
Did you ever think this drill sounds just like a guy screaming? That's crazy.
Yo, B, do you think that sounds like some kind of dying old woman in the hole there?
Bro, is that your dog, man?
Yeah. Dude, was that his bark? No, Ted. My tiny dog's bark isn't the sound of an old woman screaming. Oh, okay, cool. Just making sure.
No, Ted, my Jack Russell doesn't sound like about life. Okay, cool, just checking. Just goes back to drilling. Like,
yo, when did your dog lose his teeth and have orange eyes? Yo, is your dog the same height as Xerxes from 300? Like, what? Oh, okay, cool, yeah, because that's what I thought I saw on the tomb.
you should take him to a vet or something, dog. That's weird.
Yo, is your dog high on ketamine? Do you give your dog ketamine? No? Okay.
Should I have not done that earlier? Oh, that's my dad. That's my dog.
Oh, shit.
It won't happen
Me and your
again.
dog are tweaking right now, dude. Me and your dog are on a different planet, B. Just like rips a fat vape, too.
Yeah.
Ted is definitely got a guy, too, to be vaping in there and just like filling the entire cave with smoke.
Can't see anything. It's just like a smoke show.
It's dark in here, B. Who gives a shit? I don't know why you're freaking out, dude.
Ted's just like a frat bro who got lost in a cave.
How he got through there, it's actually pretty remarkable. Where the fuck am I? No, yeah, they measured it, and it was approximately 7 inches high and 20 to 24 inches wide. So incredibly small. During work, a loud, unidentifiable scream emanating through the passage startled both, halting the progress. Which is what we're talking about.
Startled both? Really? I never would have guessed.
This is what Ted had to say.
I stopped drilling and yanked
My earplugs out just in time to hear the
most terrible scream I've ever heard trail off the echo in the darkness of the cavern. I stared wide-eyed at the hole for several moments. I didn't move, nor did I breathe. To describe it, I would say it sounded like a cross between a man screaming in fear and a cougar screaming in
pain. It sounded like it
came from the hole and was roughly 100 feet away. The horrific noise reverberated through the cave and through my ears.
roughly 100 feet away is so close. That is so
that could
hauntingly close.
Run at you. Yeah, it'll close the distance.
Also, how the fuck? It sounds like a man screaming in fear and a cougar screaming in pain. Ted has seen some things. Ted has been around some crazy shit before in his life for sure. And I really like this. Ted's like, dude, I think there's like a fucking cougar down here or something. And in response, they just put some rocks in front of it because they think an animal's there. And they just started working again. I thought that was kind of funny. He's like, dude, plug it up real quick. He's like, do you think that was a cougar? And B's like, we're gonna die down here. He's like, all right, dude, let's get back to work. It's like, what? That night they exited and they basically, you know, they were like, oh, thank God we're out of there. Ted was like, you want to come back tomorrow? And B's like, I guess. So they stayed at a motel and they came back the next day, which is the end of Journal 5 and beginning of Journal 6.
I cautiously approached the entrance to Floyd's tomb. I decided the best way to enter the small hole was to place one arm over my head, turn my head sideways, and slowly work my way in. I soon determined that this was not going to work. The hole was too small. If I was going to make it without widening the hole anymore, I was going to have to put both arms in over my head in a diving position, turn my head sideways, and slip into the tomb. The width of the entrance was the limiting factor. The height was sufficient. The arms overhead position flared my shoulder blades out, but there was still room to get in. Plus, the arms overhead gave me the best squeeze side to side.
Just picturing that, going into a hole, first off, the cougar, the dying man, regardless of that, going into a 7-inch tall hole, and it's 25 feet wide, roughly. Dude, fuck that. He can't, it's not like he's crawling with his arms. He's like inching forward with his fingertips and his like toes. He's just kind of like pushing.
Done editing that
it's
shit.
Almost as if he's like paddling his way in. Because he's just using his toes.
My viewership is so garbage.
Like, bro, and this is after you heard a scream. Even if you can reasonably assume it to be a mountain lion or something, why on God's earth would you go after a trapped mountain lion?
He's navigating with his flashlight. He was kind of telling B what he was seeing, but mostly it was him like clearing rocks, pushing towards what people call a squeeze, which is like another cave return where the passage gets at its smallest or at its tightest. So Ted is like trying to work his way up to the first squeeze, which they tried to do safety precautions by putting like webbing and like tied to his feet to where I think B could like pull him out if he needs to, but I don't know if that would really work, if I'm being honest. And he just endured a lot of challenges. I mean, like going into this tunnel, it'd be a lot of like pain and fatigue. Just like his neck would probably lock up for being in that position. But think about like all of like the sharp rocks that your chest is going over, your legs, arms. Here's a couple more excerpts from Ted here. He says,
I got my arms through the entrance with minor scrapes. Next came my head. By keeping it turned sideways, I was able to get in, for the most part, up to my shoulders. When I got to my shoulders, I could feel the rocks touching all around my shoulders and chest. It was not stopping me, but I was definitely scraping many surfaces of my body. I decided to just push through, keeping in mind that I was going to have to come back out eventually. The pain was not too bad, and I was in. Well, my upper body was in. At least I could get a good idea of what the tomb was going to be like.
his vision and movement were significantly limited. I mean, he's just like sideways. His head is locked down to the side. So he's just kind of like pushing until a point where maybe he can stand up and look around. And he says,
after I had twisted my hips into the passage, I took a few minutes to stop and work out a game plan. Most of the length of my legs were still outside the entrance. They were just dangling in the air. The tomb was still big enough to move my head around and even move my arms freely into position. It was just larger than the rest of the passage, but not by much. It was like sticking your head into a box. Everywhere I looked, there were rocks and not too far from my head. Any sound I made was muffled and dead. The narrowest part of the passage was about 10 feet in. At this point, I was about 3.5 feet in. At about the 4-foot mark, I would have to commit to whatever position I felt comfortable and stay that way until the 12-foot mark. At that time, which the cave started to open back up. While lying in the darkness in a passage deep within a cave, one is in a unique position to ponder. A mountain literally resting on top of me, the entire earth lying below. One tiny movement of the earth and I would cease to exist, or worse, to recognize the fear shared by Floyd Collins as he lay there trapped for days deep within the heart of Mother Earth, incapable of freeing himself from the earthen prison.
what a nice thought, Ted. That's a good thing to think
NASDAQ is
while
in
you're sitting there.
retrograde.
And he keeps going. This isn't
keeps
like,
going.
oh man, I gotta get
got
out. This is
visuals
like,
for
huh,
how
that'd be weird if I died right now. Anyway.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, well, fuck. I mean, that's just the way it is, I guess. While he's crawling through, he realized heightened vulnerability stability at 7.5 foot mark as the squeeze intensified. Despite constraints, continued to push forward by fully exhaling to collapse chest for extra space.
When I reached the point where my back was rubbing, and I could feel with my head the passage was not getting bigger, I knew I was most likely not going to get through. Still, I decided to give it one more push. If I had been in the position a year ago, I would have been in a state of panic, but not today. I was pretty pumped. I took a few minutes to rest, then I went for it. I exhaled completely all of the air from my lungs. This caused my chest to collapse enough to scoot forward a few inches. Because it takes so much effort to scoot, I only went a few inches before I had to stop and breathe. As I inhaled, the chest pressed hard against the floor and my back against the top. It took a little longer to get my breath back. Unbelievably, I did it again. Exhale, scoot, rest. Again, only a few inches. Repeat. I took a few minutes to enjoy this position, pin in this small passage.
I'm a fucking psycho. Wow, I could not believe how relaxed I was.
I tried one more time to exhale and scoot. My back was rubbing too much to continue. Despite the failed effort, I was psyched. I took several long minutes to lay there and recover from the effort. B had been encouraging me the entire time. It was fun to hear him cheer as he saw my shoes go deeper and deeper into the hole.
Which they have a picture of this, and it's
agony.
It horrifies me.
Absolutely.
I hate it's something where I'm just like, why God? Why does this have to be an idea in humans' heads? Basically, after this, they were like, dude, we're in. And they kind of like forget about the other stuff. Like they're so stoked to just be in there and not have anything weird happen that now they're just like, dude, that was like the tightest place I've ever been, blah, blah, blah. And they're able to seize any kind of like weird thoughts that they might have had before.
There's one portion where Ted prefaces and he's like, I understand this may sound insane to some, but we saw this as the culmination of weeks and months and our entire careers as cavers to eventually lead to this moment. So he does paint a picture for what this meant to them outside of just a passage in a cave.
I mean, it's like a fucking odyssey at this point. I mean, it's like, I mean, even the next journal entry is April 7th in 2001. And I mean, one of the first things he says in this passage is,
I took an oath. I made a vow. I would not leave the cave until I had made it through the passage. Conquered Floyd's tomb. This would be the trip.
He's like so determined, it's unbelievable. But this is also, as he pushes through, he's able to get through this tight space finally. And that's when he takes the camera with him and takes some pictures. And he also sees fucking hieroglyphics on the wall. And it's like very similar to the Blair Witch symbol, which is also, once again, another reason why I'm like, I wonder if that was inspired.
Yeah,
it looks like
probably.
one of those like little, like the stick people in the trees, whatever. Kind of has that similar vibe.
The symbol itself is interesting because I haven't done a ton of research into what the symbol could be before. What little I did, it doesn't correlate to anything, but it does kind of depict an image of like something above. If you kind of view this as a vertical plane, you have maybe land above, cave underneath, but then something under the cave, some kind of hidden passage down there. Or perhaps it's some kind of idol, because he mentions that beneath that hieroglyph, there's little depictions of people. So maybe it's like a worship, or maybe it's saying there's some quote-unquote people underneath everything. There's a lot of different ways it can go, but it's so subtle in just the presentation of what it is. It's fascinating.
It does the perfect thing, at least that I love, is that it lets the reader just
Make a
completely
sticker.
Like, explode with possibilities, and also
I can make my
like,
face a
in
sticker.
a way, it formulates what people would be afraid of or most intrigued by the most. And I think that that's a really powerful tool. But also, once again, like you said, it's so simple. You can kind of take it however.
Yeah.
But Ted's all excited by going in there because he's like, oh, well, shit, if there's hieroglyphics here, there's probably a different entrance in, since this is obviously like a sealed wall that's a hole. So maybe there's a
no
different
one
entrance.
came the way we just came, so that means
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there's got to be something else. He hears like rocks moving deeper in the cave, freaks him out bad. They really capture the feeling like, you know how when you're home alone, you do that thing where like you start going upstairs and you think someone's like running behind you, so you run up your stairs. I feel like they capture that really well in the story here. Strangely, the photographs he took in the chamber, they didn't develop, erasing the evidence of the hieroglyphics and the round rock, prompting the explorer to sketch the symbol. So that's like the thing that we see here is what he drew, his interpretation of what it was.
The round rock too is like particularly interesting because like round isn't a shape that naturally occurs in you know nature. Like if a rock falls off of something, it's going to be jagged, it's going to be broken. But a smooth rock implies it's been moved around a lot, which is harrowing because no one's been back there in at least the past 1,000 years.
And especially because there's no water. Like that's another thing too, is like if there's a stream, usually it's chipped away until it's smoothed out, but there's nothing. So yeah, it does seem like somebody's been rolling it around or it's been moving on its own. It's very creepy. Ted, like the good guy he is after hearing all these sounds and seeing these things, doesn't tell B. He's like, nah, man, it was cool. Nothing happened. He keeps all the unsettling stuff away from B. I think he knows that B is definitely a little more intimidated by all of the crazy shit going on. Which, that ends the journal entry until the next time they go back, which is April 14th, 2001. And he says,
only a couple days elapsed before B found someone who wanted to explore the passage with us. B told me he talked to a few other people who couldn't make it because of scheduling conflicts.
but we get to meet our new man, Joe. He's an experienced, thin, twinky little man who was eager, but perhaps the most excited among them, impressing with his ease in navigating the tight spaces. So Joe is definitely a smaller guy. I know Ted was stoked because he's like, well, he's smaller than me, so he can definitely get in the passage with me. He's going in, and Joe is definitely an experienced caver as well. So they're all really excited to go back in with this new guy to show him what's up, and also kind of told him, you know, hey, don't tell anybody about this spot. Joe entered Floyd's tomb. The explorer realized they hadn't informed him of the cave's odd phenomenon, questioning what and how much they should have disclosed, which I love that part. They're just kind of like a blood-curdling scream, rocks move around. I got scared and basically left as quick as I could, but we didn't really know how much we should tell Joe. I mean, come on. Joe was sent ahead alone, his enthusiasm akin to a child's. Joe was as giddy as a little girl, and this is what they had to say about that.
When I reached the tight spot of the squeeze, I had Joe snap a picture of me. I thought it would make a good photo.
Which is just, the photo's so haunting. I hate it.
Once I got through, B started to relay my stuff to me. Then disaster struck. I had gone all the way in and turned around to pull my gear through. I had to kneel down and still crouch down low. I had got my helmet, ironically, and light, and was turning around to feed the rope back to B when I smacked my head on top of the passage. Human skull versus solid rock. Rock won. I told B what had happened, so he sent my first aid kit through. I was bleeding, but even worse, I didn't feel too good.
Well, you know, shit, dude. You just bashed your fucking skull in. What are you talking?
I patched myself up. Then Joe didn't think I should continue. He looked like a little kid who was told that Christmas would be canceled. Although I didn't like the idea of him exploring the cave without me, for selfish reasons, of course, I wanted him to at least see part of the cave for making the trip out here. So
he's sending Joe off into the hell pit that they've been digging into, and he's like, all right, man, well, have fun out there. And
Ted's a horrible person.
Oh, once again, Ted is just really digging himself a grave here. I don't think that, I don't know. The anxiety mounted for a waiting explorer as Joe exceeded a set time limit for return, so they're like, you know, just be back here by this point, but he's late. He's gone way too long, but when Joe re-emerged, his condition was alarming. He was pale, breathless, and visibly shaken, with numerous small injuries suggesting a hasty retreat. He was uncommunicative and seemed eager to leave. Very suspicious. Maybe they should have told him, hey, Joe, by the way, buddy, seriously, there's a ghoul that lives down there in that pit. Just let you know.
Never mention to him a scream. Again, even if you think it's an animal, tell him you heard something yell.
If there was a raccoon in there, I'd be like, hey, there's a
raccoon,
family of raccoons that live in there. They're careful.
Probably upset. You should be aware of that. Yeah.
Joe's post-exploration behavior was odd. He hadn't seen or heard notable cave features, and his short, dismissive answers raised suspicions considering the cave's layout. The ride home was tense, with Joe mostly silent and unresponsive to inquiries about his experience. Attempts to contact him later remained unanswered, deepening the mystery of what occurred.
Hell yeah. This shit's gonna be fucking amazing.
Christ swag, I've been in my Christ bag.
The passage, and then Joe says this to close out the journal. He says,
once we got outside the cave, I figured we would be able
I
to
don't
find
need a
out
gun,
more Joe,
bitch, I
but
got
when we got up the final
crawl.
climb, he just unclipped from the rope and went straight to the truck. In the light of day, he looked even worse worse than in the cave. Joe said that he did not want to stay overnight because he felt terrible.
Only 2 people like this one.
So we headed home. We could
couldn't
get no
believe
more
it.
information from Joe. He just stared
all
straight
slept
ahead.
on this
He was
one.
shaking like a leaf, and he said he was not cold.
Damn, dude, you cold? What the fuck's wrong with you? Stop shaking, Joe.
Bro, are you like chilly or something? What's wrong, dude?
Yo, dude, B, turn on the heater. This pussy's cold, dude.
When we tried to question him, his answers were short. I asked him if he saw any hieroglyphics. No. Did you hear us yelling? No. Did you see the round rock? No. Did you see the crystals? No. He said he just went a little ways in and started to feel sick. Something was fishy about his answers. He would have had to have seen the crystals.
You're a fucking liar, Joe. I know that you saw the crystals.
If he got far enough into the cave that he
know
couldn't
that you
hear
saw
us
the
yelling,
fucking crystals,
why
dude.
would he not elaborate?
To be fair, though, Joe just seems like also he's just like the vibe is off. Joe's like,
Are they
"Dude,
still
take me
alive?
home. You guys suck."
It doesn't
You know
feel
what I mean?
like Joe saw or dealt with anything like conclusive, absolute, but it does feel
Yep.
like something happened.
Showing
to him
off
in that
some
cave
rugs
changed
that
his
he's
outlook,
selling.
you know?
Something definitely happened. He's not exploring any of the
It's
stuff.
the
Or he's just
Kazakh
like, he's
runner
visibly
rug.
shocked. They are painting a picture of a man who is just like, I do not want to even say any of the things that I saw because it's just like, then I'd have to almost relive it. But they decided to go back on April 28th this time, which is 2 weeks after their trip with Joe. But Joe's not there, obviously. It's just him and B again. Ted says this.
As we were rigging up the rope to descend into the cave, I felt something for the first time. I did not want to go in the cave. It was not a feeling of foreboding. I was not receiving some premonition. I just had no desire to enter the underground world of Mystery Cave. I didn't share this feeling with B at the time.
Such a good guy. Always not sharing anything with B.
Even though I had no desire to go into the cave, I knew we had to. We tested everything, and I gathered the gear, wanted to take it into the passage. Then it was time. We looked at each other, but said nothing. Then I turned to face the passage. As I twisted my body to begin entering the tomb, I desperately hoped it would be the last time I would contort my body to enter this claustrophobic nightmare. From behind me, I heard the scraping noise. It was loud. It was close. It was coming from the large room I had just left. I wheeled around to face whatever had made the noise. When I did, I lost my presence of mind and stood up at the same time. Crunch! My helmet crashed into the passage of the ceiling. My light broke, and I was buried in heavy darkness.
So he goes in. He's saying, I really don't want to be here today, but god damn it, I have to. And he does it anyways. He hears a little something, and then this would be my actual hell. Being in a cave and then having a light break and just being in complete darkness, that has to be on the top for me. That's like the top of my list. A claustrophobic nightmare and you're in the darkness, dude? No way.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I mean,
Gosh. The level of fear.
The way he describes the pain too is so surreal. Like he's like,
Pain shot through my neck and down to my back. The helmet had protected my head, but my neck was nearly numb from the impact.
oh
So he's
god.
just like a vegetable in this cave.
Fuck, dude.
He's like, my head was fine, but I couldn't feel my spine.
Homie went to Nutty
Fear
Putty
and-
Cave. He got
fear
puttied,
enveloped
bitch.
me, and my knees began to weaken. I slowly and involuntarily slumped to my knees. I gently set the camera down as I began to see stars from the pain in my upper back. The scraping noise lasted only a second, and now the only sound I could hear was my own panic-inspired breathing. Not only could I feel the fear thick upon my chest, but the darkness seemed to hold me in place. I felt like I was vulnerable from every direction. I wanted to turn and look behind me, and to the side of me, and in front of me. Everywhere I saw was black. I used the glow stick to light the phone reel, and with a fumbling fingers, I managed to plug my phone into the jack. I put the phone to my ear and heard nothing. The usual beeps to indicate connection with the other phone were not there.
Which B and Ted have been talking on a phone.
They used to use them in cave expeditions. It's effectively like a telegram line. So you run a physical cord from one end to the other. And you can talk to each other, but it has to have that actual cord. It's the equivalent of like 2 cups tied to a string.
That's what they should have had. So we and B decided to tie the cups together.
I do love this scene a lot because of how it's so visceral, but also subtle, the horror. So
Visceral
like, we've had the
Cicero.
tease for a while of the noise of rock moving on rock, but then he's as soon as he passes that
Let's
main
change the
room,
color.
he hears it very close and very loud from that main room. And then in the same moment, his lights go.
Oh,
sure,
that's
you
pretty.
don't see a demon.
That's
you don't
really
hear
pretty.
something speak to you, but you hear that noise, and now you can't see anything, and you can't talk back to your friend. Horrifying.
It's absolutely horrifying. It's just painting such a picture, and like it really is just such a descriptive retelling of just what it's like to be in hell, like to be in that nightmare. It's so effective even just through text. The phone is going silent, his legs are weak, he can't do anything, he's basically trying to move his way out now.
The short trip through the room took an eternity. As I passed the crude drawing, it seemed to glow, as if offering some sort of warning. I didn't know what the drawing represented, but everything
Where are
about this
they?
cave seemed to instill fear. Toward the far end of the room, I
fucking
could see the
game,
round
dude.
rock dimly as the far reaches of my light. Something seemed different about it, but I couldn't tell what. When I got within a few feet, I could finally tell what had changed. It had moved. That was the sound I heard.
I remember when I read that for the first time, I was like, dude, fuck that.
Yeah.
The giant round rock, and it's like, oh, that was what was.
Yeah.
That was the sound, is that giant round rock moved. Okay.
It's rolling towards us.
When earlier he mentions he could hear rocks moving on rocks, and then that the rock was suspiciously round when he comes to it. And then to realize I was right about that is terrifying. Oh,
yeah.
Man. It's very cool horror because it's so unique. In this open cavern all the way underground, something is rolling around a boulder.
I think it was worth,
and it's not
worth
something
$10.
that's immediately trying to target and kill him.
Sweet.
Because it would have done that in the darkness, right? But for some reason, the boulder moved.
As he's noticing that the boulder moved, that's immediately when he's like, okay, I want to get out of here. But coincidentally, it's also whenever he's starting to freak out and he begins to quickly leave,
dog.
And he says,
I ate a Scooby snack once.
Before the squeeze. As I was crawling toward the beginning of the tomb, I called to B. He
Real
answered
dog
back.
treat.
I
No.
screamed at him to get everything ready to go. He asked if I was okay since he hadn't heard from me on the phone.
No, I remember the cookies at like this what's that fucking store? Yeah, PetSmart. Yeah, so they had these cookies at PetSmart that were like for dogs, but like I remember them being like, you can eat these. They're actually pretty good. You know, they're edible for humans too. And I think I ate one, and I was like, yeah, that's just a normal ass cookie. Lucky dogs, bro. Yeah, little do I know, it killed every dog that ate it. Nah, who knows?
Worried. I told him no, and to get everything ready to go. He asked why, and I screamed that there was something in the cave with us.
There you go, dude. First time, at least, you know what, though? For Ted, that's a big step. It'd be really funny if he's like, nothing, it's fine. He's like, once again, he's like still holding
all those patterns.
No, dude, it's cool. Don't even worry about it,
Bro,
man.
did you leave Whip down here?
Yeah, dude, give me Whip. I want Whip. He's obviously in a panic, but that's when he starts getting that nauseating stench, like the smell. He says,
just as I started into the squeeze, I felt the wind in the passage increase, and with it, the most nauseating stench I had ever experienced. It smelled like damp, rotting, rancid, putrid death. Almost started to dry heave.
I love this expression too,
Oh,
because
God.
it's almost as if now this
Probably
entity
a
or
dead
monster that's
person,
down
a
there
dead
with him,
animal.
now you're starting to smell it. It's like becoming more and more realized, and it's almost like this creature that's been completely hidden is like stepping forward from the darkness, and you, in your mind's eye, you're kind of picturing what the hell is this thing that's moving these boulders around. It smells horrible. It's probably been down here eating like dead animals or like rats and stuff for God knows how long. So creepy.
Dude,
There's
it's
that mention,
Bigfoot.
too, whenever he's walking
He's just
by
chilling
the
in
boulder
there.
after it gets rolled out of the way, that it led to a passage that he says is like a 45-degree angle going down like into the rock.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? Is that like a chute for something? Is that what this thing crawls up? So you can almost, even though it's never said, you can kind of track in your mind, like the boulder moved, he now smells something. You can envision something coming, getting closer, like it's moving up the cave to get to him. Everything in the story is so well laid out at this point that you can picture what a chase would look like.
Basically see yourself in this room or a version of like what that slant would be like. It immediately started making me think that like the practicality now of that room to something that lives.
I want to see if I can see the
That's what I
images
started
in the
thinking about.
audio.
It's like, is the boulder like a door somehow? Is it used to like hide? Like it.
I know there was a fucking there was a album by Aphex Twin where you could see his face in the spectrogram or whatever the fuck that shit's called. Hide secret messages in audio. Unknown audio waveform containing hidden images. Let's see. Let's see if it pops up on ours. Am I out of frame? Nah, we're good. Let's see. It did not work. Nah, it didn't even work at all.
This is a dead end.
Bow. 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 Bow, 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 bow. Bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow. Bow.
Whoa.
He said Sugondis.
Remnant sound.
Where is he? I'm terrible at this fucking game.
Must be reading it wrong.
The hobgoblin turns to you, and the parasite squirms in your skull.
Oh snap!
He
What?
tastes the ale on his
I got some Pokeballs now.
bile in his soul. The visions cloud your inner eye for a brief moment once again. You see the hobgoblin bowing before the armored elf you'd glimpsed before. The elf speaks of the hunt for a great weapon and the rewards that will go to whoever finds it. The
Ah.
hobgoblin's eyes gleam hungrily.
If it isn't another true soul.
He doesn't speak his next words, yet they still rattle your skull from within.
You ever talk to a dead squid? Now's your chance.
What dead squid?
Okay, so either. What the fuck? Moving for the kill. Like what? What is that? Like who are you killing?
I don't know.
Settle in to watch the proceedings?
You choke on black smoke as the hobgoblin bellows his incantation.
See, Blizzy! We're in this like goblin butthole zone. We're in a secret goblin space.
The hideous corpse rises, tentacles writhing. The creature from the wreckage.
Oh, whoa.
Absolute says the dead squiddy had a weapon. I reckon the killer nabbed it and scooted off to that looter camp. We find
Weed and estrogen, hell yeah.
we find who took that weapon. So settle in.
Your heart seizes. What if the creature noted your presence at the crash site?
Oh, that's Ragdolin.
Should I? Yeah, here, let's give it a quick shot. Dig into Razla's mind and control the interrogation. Let's go, come on.
Got a bonus.
Oh, I fucked up and it's too late. Oh, but I don't matter because I fucking kill it. I'm a savage. Grah, grah, grah.
Ragslin's mind reels.
Look at Ragslin and his stupid mind. He got hobgobbled.
Speak as you command.
Bald on my hole.
Hobgobbled.
Oh.
You ask.
Baldur's
That's
my
swag.
gate. My gate's bald. Get it? That's not. If only.
What do we think?
Yeah.
What were you doing in Faerun?
Ragslin scowls, shocked by his own words. Then a jolt shoots through your skull.
Oh my god.
The creature speaks in visions.
Fucking nut job, dude.
Swarm of Githyanki
He's gonna
dragons,
explode that thing.
blades held high, control
Rise from your grave and come see us today. We have everything you need to get your Halloween shopping finished up.
He is suspicious, confused by the question that fell from his lips. Proceed carefully.
Who is the absolute? Because that's what he wants to ask, or what?
Yeah.
Who is the absolute?
Ragslin frowns in confusion at a
Huh?
question he would never have asked.
What the fuck, really?
Curved drow blades, crude goblin
Boom,
torches,
boom.
gnarled teeth.
I didn't realize he never would have asked that.
The other mind flayers arranged in a serene circle. Absolute unity.
Absolute power.
You're kidding me. Very helpful, squid.
Suspicion floods Ragslin's mind. Your brain howls as you
Let him ask.
Huh?
You could ask, who killed you? Yeah.
But that's what we're scared of him asking.
Well, we didn't technically kill him.
I think we did.
No, it was the guy who looked like him. Remember? If you killed him, you could have gotten his fiery soul.
Another vision consumes you. A memory seen through the creature's soul-dead eyes. You see a clawed hand open a holding pod to reveal a face.
I'm not trying to be rude, honey.
Lord Oak's soul.
Shit, I told you.
Add bonus.
I'm a faithful, true soul. Yes, nice. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, you're right. You're a
Wow,
real
wow.
soul. I felt it.
That was sketch balls. That was so sketch balls. Bro, we almost had that. We almost had our asses fucked.
Riddles, all of it, and nothing to show for the trouble but rotting squid meat. No answers, no killer, and no damned weapon. That damned drow was right. Can't let her get all that glory. Seems I ain't done with you. Report to the drow. Minthara
Okay.
is the name. She's mounting an attack on that blasted grove. Tell her you'll join her.
So do we should go back and tell them?
Yeah.
Praise the absent.
Okay, so what we should do is go to the fast travel.
Yo, the new Loki episode came out. Fuck yeah.
Why does it keep saying? Where is the fast travel point, bruh?
New Quadeca song. Oh, it's probably so good.
Oh, maybe we can just fast travel.
I think we have to be outside the building.
Okay, you want to leave? Oh, okay. I was like, whoa, I didn't mean leave like that. Damn, alright, goodbye. Peace. Oh, my bad, I'm going the wrong way anyway. Oh, I wasn't going the wrong way. Turn around, sorry about that. Waffle Thought suffering from major allergens.
Oh,
Everybody,
no.
wish her luck. Throw some Waffle Thought emotes to get the allergens to go away.
Spawn, 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 spawn,
Triple
spawn, spawn, spawn.
sneeze? That shit's crazy.
Oh my god.
She's splaunching.
Remember
Let's
I watched the 1,000 Ways to Die episode and the guy sneezed so many times he like broke his ribs and like had a heart attack? And that is a legit fear of mine one day.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, dude.
Nothing's been the same since she saw that episode. See, Blizzy, have you smoked yet today?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't use the door. I'm gonna go back to being me.
I think we could probably fast travel. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Wait, fast travel.
Oh yeah, there's a little thing on the map that looks like a swirly whirly in the goblin camp over here. Oh, bro, you can just click it. Bro, if you just go to that little, yeah, if you could just click that bitch. Zoom in.
Do we want to go to that one?
Yeah, you can go anywhere from it. Just select it.
Okay.
That's very convenient. Okay. And then press use. And then go back to the Emerald Grove, I think.
Yeah.
And we gotta tell them what's going on, because there's about to be a major attack.
God damn it.
Now,
I really hate that, man. When you accidentally click something.
See, what is up with Zoru? Like, what's up with that? You know what
I do that all the time. I'm too zealous on my
girl
clicks.
at our camp. Hold on, you left the
Processing time
You're
frame.
just right here. You're the one that left, bro.
Preferred clip links.
You started running away. I was
30
just right next to you.
seconds.
No, you started running, but my screen wasn't loaded yet.
Oh.
Receipts. Receipts. Silly goose. Let's go.
Swag, you took a dab. Let's go. Lead the way then. I would have shoved it. I would have shoved it. I would have shoved it. Do you know where you're going?
Not quite.
Oh, well then we should set a waypoint. Yeah, we're going the wrong way. Okay. So we want to go to the Emerald Grove. Okay. So when you go over here, you can press square to place a marker. And it'll look a little bit different than the other ones.
Gotcha, it'll have like that dot in the middle.
What do I do? Do I?
Okay.
So it'll be right there. It has a star on it. So then we want to go to the star one. So we could go up this way. You want to come...
Oh shit, it's sending it to my email, isn't it? Damn it. I just probably did it like 3 times. Fuck.
Oh.
Fuck, man. I cannot type. Oh my god, dude. Are you fucking kidding me?
What's up with all these true souls?
Dude, type it. Oh
Not
my
everyone can be a true
god.
soul.
God damn.
Smoking. I'm
Why was that
smoking.
so difficult?
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Oh. Is it me or you? Oh.
You.
You want to take the controller?
What do you want to say?
Look at the medicine.
+2 from wisdom.
Yeah, you want to do a quick save? I'm not going to use the illithid all the time. I think you had a good point bringing
It
that
doesn't
up.
let you do
You
it.
have this thing in your brain that's called the illithid, and you don't want to motherfucking use it too much, I don't think, because it seems like it'd be a bad thing trying to rely on the demon spawn in your mind hole. Yeah, send it though. With the medicine. Let's go. I'm about to rip this bomb.
How do I do
I'm
this?
sorry if this makes you want to smoke more, but good for you. A dab will get you messed up. man.
Whatever, I don't even care. Maybe it'll pop up someday.
Oh my god. My allergies are killing me.
Yeah, that sucks too, because they like weren't all day and then they just started as soon as you sat down. That's so lame.
It wasn't until I got home and Peanut came out of the bathroom.
And you were like,
Yeah.
So do you know who we are for Halloween, Steve Blizzy? Can you tell?
What?
Can you tell?
As the
What?
symbol glows, power courses
Oh yeah, I can.
authority.
Spoopy.
Let's go. Come on. No, bro.
Might work.
It does. Oh my god, it did.
Zip.
Oh, I thought it was only
He's hurt badly, and Owlbear got him deep.
spoopy, super spoopy. David Pumpkins.
David Pumpkins.
Exclamation point, David Pumpkins.
Exclamation point, David Pumpkins.
Hold this stair.
Exclamation point, David Pumpkins.
What is this one?
Ready or not?
That's her.
I
You
knew
see
it.
her?
Dance.
Yo.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
It's David Pumpkins, dog.
You know what I'm saying? Alright, okay, let's see what, try to block him out.
I'd hold his chair.
Oh, he has the squirm, dude.
He's also a true soul.
Huh?
He also has a...
So,
I'd
hold that stair.
That's what I was thinking.
Your minds intertwine. You see his siblings, Andrew and Brenna.
How's your day going?
It's a good one, right? That's a secret one. Low key.
So, mind him. He will.
I know all these fucking beats, dude, like the back of my hand. Listened to him so many fucking times.
He's with the Absolute now.
Wow.
Your true soul. Edwin, our brother. He was chosen. Like you. Do you have orders for us? We were reporting to Edwin.
I mean, I thought we found Halson.
Why are you out here?
Huh?
Why are they out here?
I bet you $100 they're gonna kill him too. Every time I talk to these people, I just have to kill him.
We're looking for fugitives, survivors from that ship that crashed farther west of here.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him. They're gonna attack you.
Or?
Do we do this?
Don't tell them.
Yeah, what if they just try to kill you?
They do.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it, he's smarter than I am,
Let's
dude.
try to get him.
I did it like 3 times on accident.
They'll probably join our battle.
Huh?
They've got names and shit. I don't feel like they're supposed to be like enemies.
Well, if they're trying to kill people who fucking have the shit in their head, then I mean.
Killed these people.
So do you not want to fight them? Is that what you're saying?
3 separate times.
I want to fight them. Because what do you think they do? It's like their friend just died.
He goes, LMFAO, I've accidentally killed these people 3 separate times.
But like, if they want to kill, if they're looking for people from the accident and you're people from the accident and they're gonna kill you because you're from the accident, why are we gonna try to be their friend? Is this a bad thing, C Blizzy? Because like these people seem.
I don't know.
They seem shitty. I don't like these people's energy. I don't even know. No, I love the energy. Okay.
We're looking for fugitives, survivors from that ship that crashed farther west of here.
Why is Alec? I made some insane shit tonight.
You need,
come to my stream and then
not
ask me to
to.
fucking spin it.
I don't know any druids.
Okay, so they don't know Halcyon.
We don't know what they look like, but anyone who survived that crash is bound to be injured. The Absolute wants them found. At any cost.
Is that you? Is that you, Alex? I could spin it on stream right now.
Oops.
Or was that me on accident? Did I just like it on accident? Let me see. Yeah, that was me. Dang it.
The beast must be destroyed.
The cave is just ahead. It was too much for us before, but if you could help us, true soul, we may stand a chance.
You wanna go with them?
Nah.
Nah? But they might like trust you after that.
Same as that goblin, Sazza.
Did they go this way? Oh yeah, they're right up ahead, yeah.
Looks like the Absolute's drawing all sorts.
Oh no, I'm sorry, honey.
Impressive in a way.
Damn.
Bro, link me to
Why
stream
do I look
right
like
now
that?
before you do.
Oh.
My thumbnail should say.
Just in case this is just the worst
Okay,
idea.
don't go in yet, because I'm really far away.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me know. I just have. There's such a gang of people right here. Like, what the fuck? There's like 5 people
Alright, if you
waiting on the
if you want
6th.
a quick save here. So that if we die, we don't
Yeah, I
have
need to like
fall.
put it in like the
Sweat.
messaging, like.
Yeah, we could either freak this owlbear or we get fucked.
Wanna go with them?
They might like trust you after that. Okay, there's a few routes.
Dead owlbear prey, no doubt.
Some gold.
Are gonna
Maybe some.
nice. I don't have any headphone, but I'm gonna get it tomorrow with a sparkers. With a sparkers.
It's a mana. That's that one that looks like a little moon. Oh, should we just go for it? Quick save again?
And he didn't want to come to the stream.
Let's run up to it.
Damn.
Should I try to... Oh, here it comes. Let's see this freaker. Whoa, I'm scared. You see this thing, honey?
Yes, sir. Oh, wait, my... Yeah, sorry. I had my fucking thing echoing. So let me see your story and profile pic. Just go to my fucking...
I'm gonna study its behavior.
Should not be that hard, dude.
Damn, that's a tough check. Oh shit, I did it. Most likely? Yes. Oh my god, I did it. I passed it. Let's go. Okay, let's study its behavior.
Flicks away for a moment. You follow its glance and see an owlbear cub.
Hold out your palms. Oh, look at the little cub. What, do we hold out our palms?
Yeah.
The owlbear stares, then sharply inhales your scent. It sits back, its eyes still fixed on you. A silent ultimatum. You can leave now, or step closer and die.
Okay, so we don't want to fight it, but they want.
Why can't you share this to your story? It's like,
you know what I mean. So do we want to try to fight
incredible.
it? Incredible. It's got its little baby right there. The druid would not do this.
I don't know why it doesn't have that option.
The druids would not be happy if we do this, and we want to be druids.
If I could put like my stream in the story, it'd be so much easier.
Should we try to get them to? Nah.
Boom, boom.
I'll try to get them to do it.
Boom, boom, boom.
I'm sorry.
All right, so
Not fixed. Like,
if you hear Alex, I could spin that real quick.
you should leave. You'll just get in the way.
Well, but we're not even gonna fight it.
Yeah, so just send it
Of course, if you say so.
They're playing Baldur's Gate. Jungle VIP, A, or WIP. Very cool. I love Jungle. Yeah, seemingly only needs the sub bass. I love that little, that vocal chop you used. Where's the long one? Want the stems? Sure. It's that one. Let's just see. Yeah. Hell yeah, we could definitely definitely do something on that. No, it's not C. Just a little demo, I guess. If I had like an actual sub bass that was long, that'd be so much cooler. It'd be like, you know, just a little mixing. I just finished this beat. Guess I'll show you what I made today. Yeah, I love the sax. Sax is great. I'm gonna send you Broke. DM your email for sure. I'll do that right now. JINJOBR1010 is what I made. Or I finished it today. I started the melody yesterday. Get Vital for them roller basses. Oh no, I got plenty of sub bass plugins. I just wanted to grab a quick sample so I could demo that track there. I got loads. I got Serum, I got Reason, I got Expand, I got all sorts of stuff. Reason is great because Reason comes out with new shit every new patches every single week, and you can flip the rack and like you can mess around with patches like that you can't mess around with, like you can't do that and fucking with like Serum patches. I mean you can, well, yeah, I guess you can't like flip the rack, but you can do that with Serum, but you know what I mean. I like that, but I'm not good with patching, so I just kind of stick with the with presets and stuff. If you got Serum, then you got everything Vital Go. Yeah, I think maybe the bass shouldn't be there. Hope you're having a good night, bro. We just streaming. I've been streaming all week on this bitch. Finishing this album. Gonna wrap on this tomorrow's stream. Made this chord progression. Well, I made all the chord progressions. Yeah, so that's the final beat for Cursed. It's gonna be 5 beats or 5 songs. We got them up in the October folder. But yeah, fuck yeah, we could do some crazy wild shit with the 808s on this, or you know, we could throw in some trap influence maybe on section, like certain like seconds and stuff, certain moments.
setting up
Know what
all
I'm
of these
sizzling?
great narrative devices that I think are so fascinating. And it leads into probably one of the scariest parts of the story, which is their escape here, which is a little long, but I think it's worth reading a little bit. It's a great one, which is them retrieving the rope.
Oh yeah, and BBG from Grave sent me the verse for the song that I sent him. The nuclear mind state or some
I could hear
shit.
him moving quickly and breathing heavily. I called out to him, and his startled reaction told me he was nearly as tense as I was. He told me to get on the rope and start climbing. We both.
What is it? I think it was mine like nuclear fission.
Pulling up in a cloak like I'm a go. You not doing shit for months, that was canonical. How I fit so they can use it like a bionicle. Brass knuckles, hottest diamond in my Glock, got a barnacle. Vertical, I'm in a super position, I'm spitting fray on them, freeze my cancer in a remission. Yeah, in the future like I had some precognition. If you could see inside of my mind, you see some nuclear fission. Ice lock, give a fuck about his time. Brand new curse item that I obtained, I'll put it in that chest like it was yesterday. Never leave the chamber, even for a real. Get the fact anymore, down the drugstore. Come little crispy with swag, it's undefinable. Fuck their perspective, my MO was methodical. Call me wizard, call me the violent circle. Cryogenic, blue freeze, you whole crew now, they ain't particles. Take a closer look, the powder royal blue. In my own world, I thought you knew. Feel like a polar bear at the zoo. Into my retina rendezvous. Get that tape, there's no place to get my way. I'm staring at the snake, can't see it, I'm speechless, don't really know what to say. It's kind of fuck with it, that you're snacking you with the extra. My bitch shakes a whole roller coaster, a whole sex and flipping. Pulling up in that cloak like I'm a gonagle. You not doing shit for months, that was canonical. How I fit till you connected like a bionicle. Brass knuckles, hottest diamond in my Glock, got a barnacle. Quantum particle, I'm in a super position, I'm a spitting fray on them, freeze my cancer in a remission. In the future like I had some precognition. If you could see inside of my mind, you see some nuclear fission.
Yep. So that's where BBG comes in. His verse is in the fucking email, so. Oh yeah, I don't even. I think he might have done mixing, but he definitely sent him raw, so I'm probably gonna do my own little fresh mix on him. Might need to change the mix on that a little bit. It was tad boxy, but other than that, pretty fire.
Knew what would be dangerous.
That's your guess, eh? Ain't it?
Something we would normally do, but this was different. From above, I heard B warn me, "Rock!" And I ducked under the ledge as several small rocks landed on.
Getting like tons of practice in this year. Like shit ton. Been streaming like at least 3 times a week the whole year, so finally getting some like, you know, I wonder how many hours I'm at. Sent the project file and the samples. Oh gosh, it's not gonna work. Trust me. Never does. You're gonna have to bounce your channels. I can guarantee you if I try to open it, it's gonna say unable to open, and it's gonna put a bunch of empty patterns. Happens all the time. Like, I need your bones and everything. You're gonna have to send like a zip loop package, and even if you send the zip loop package, it still sometimes doesn't work. It's wild. FL Studio is some of the worst collabing. It's the worst for collabing, I think, out of any, you know, just the MP3s. Can you bounce them as WAVs? Because WAVs are better, cause, you know, how MP3s have like a millisecond of silence, so it makes it really hard to put things on the BPM. Send the zip loop. Yeah, got you. We'll see. I mean, maybe it'll open. Who knows? But from experience, I've tried to collab with like 20 people, and every time they send the files, it's just you can't open the project. I'm just like, okay. And I tell them to send stems, and then they just never send them. And I'm like, all right then, no collab then.
The floor near my feet. I quickly went back to pulling the rope in. I had about half of it in, about 50 feet.
We'll figure it out though. You're the main homie, so.
It was solid. There was no way I was going to crawl back to release it, so I decided to just forget the rope and get my harness on and get out of the cave. I quickly threw the harness around me and started to buckle it. Before I could
Don't open us in the west of each sound, no doubt, no doubt.
I looked down at the rope, only to discover my horror.
Yeah, if you can just bounce each mixing channel, that's what I do.
I love that.
Oh, it's so
love
good.
that.
Prep them all
It's
for
so good.
for this recording.
Imagine the horror of you're wheeling it in and then
Just play each one.
starts to tug back on the other end.
Yeah, there's 100 different ways to do it, you know.
We still have no idea what is down there, but it's just
Hell
the
yeah,
attention
let's do a jungle.
Amazing.
I put the jungle mixtape on the back burner. I was gonna do a jungle, just a whole like jungle mix, but after Arctic Elixirs, I just wanted to get back into rapping again because I was getting a lot of practice in on songwriting. So yeah, dude, I want to get back into that shit, and we'll probably like put that on there, put that on as like a bonus track. Yeah, X, the homie.
Thing going on.
I cut up to B on the ledge below where our relay point was fixed. I told him to keep going. It would only take him a few minutes, but every second would be a torture.
My Twitch has been dead as hell today.
We had just climbed up. I expected to see some.
I always have the one, but I'm pretty sure that's mod. So.
The rope moved around a bit in rhythm with B's
Yeah, today it's been
climbing, but did
terrible.
not appear to have any tension to it. As I stood there waiting for B, I kept watching the rope for signs of anything bizarre. I didn't know if my heart could take any more stress. I could not have been more wired. I tried to relax a bit to make sure I was.
But yeah, we're just chilling for the rest of the stream now, Alex. So yeah, I don't feel the need to, unless you feel like chilling. But yeah, we're probably gonna end stream soon and just watch some YouTube videos, maybe take a dab. Then we'll end stream. I was gonna play Lies of P, but I don't know. Every time I finish working on FL Studio, I just don't feel like playing video games at all. I feel like watching TV usually. I don't know. It feels like playing video games is like a chore sometimes. Like it's like hard. Like at least for me to get like, you know, enjoyment out of it. It's hard to explain.
Steady tension. Not like someone was climbing up. Either way, I wanted out of there as fast as possible. I clipped on and scrambled up the rope. I had noticed, but B had kept on moving towards the entrance. I got up the last few feet in a hurry and just unclipped and kept on moving, leaving the rope behind.
They made it out of the cave, luckily, and I mean, now they definitely know something's down there. At least Ted does. I think B just believes them, and they're just like completely, I mean, they're just completely drained now. They're just like, oh my god, screw this. Like, they don't really talk very much after they get out. They just are kind of in their own heads. 4 days later, still haunted by the experience, Ted kind of explains that he struggled to write due to how crazy and overwhelming his emotions and memories were of the event. His vivid recollections.
After this vid, we'll find one last vid and
still
load
haunt
up
him, and his
dib.
difficulty concentrating even after several days.
We got our
like he
E-dabber
talks about,
here.
like, he can't watch TV.
Our
He's been asked to, like, go
APX
home from
Volt.
work early.
This thing
He's
is
just
awesome.
Kind of, like, completely
Best E-dabber I've ever
emotionally and
tried.
mentally gone. Still
Every
trying
other
to
E-dabber I've
process
tried
what's
is
gonna happen.
He gets medicated
garbage.
during that time. He starts to see the visions and stuff like that. Like, dude is in a bad place.
Like, when he goes to a doctor, he doesn't even explain what's going on. He's just like, oh, I'm messed up.
Yeah.
Just to get a prescription. He says something along the lines of, like, he doesn't want to just, like, pop pills and be addicted to it his whole life, but it's, like, gotten to a place where he's like, I just simply can't take it anymore. And that leads us to May 19th, 2001, which is his last entry.
Got some
It's been 3 weeks since our last visit to the
diamonds
cave.
here.
I want to update everyone as to my condition.
Which aren't the best,
The events of the past few weeks.
I mean,
It
these
took
are really
several
high
days to get the
quality
last
diamonds, but I think
I
diamonds
was so
period
shook up
aren't
from the experience
very
that I
good.
did little else but sit around and ponder what happened. When we left the cave, I was nearly
I think like
in a state of
rosin's
shock.
the
I could not
move.
think clearly, and I was having
I got a machine in my
trying to
closet,
understand what
but
happened.
I haven't made it in a long time.
Nor did I get any sleep. I had an overwhelming feeling of anxiety sink into my soul. I was depressed and confused and had no one I wanted to turn to for comfort.
Which, if this is a joke to your family, awesome. I mean, imagine the family reading this part. Like,
I have no
horrible.
one. I'm alone. There's no one here.
There's no one here. I feel terrible.
I continued in a miserable state, eating and sleeping whenever I could manage, until a week after the trip. Then things started to get strange. At first, I was
Another
hearing
one.
sounds in the house that had no
Want me to spin that
explanation.
too?
Footsteps, shuffling noises, creaking.
Main.
You know, the typical horror movie fare. Only the sounds were not
This is
distinct.
everything I got
As
right
though
now is still
I wasn't sure
private.
I heard what I thought I heard. I'd be eating or getting out of the shower and stop. thinking I heard something, but the sound would not repeat
Gotcha,
itself.
gotcha.
In fact, if it weren't for the fact it had happened frequently, I couldn't be sure that the noises were there in the first place. Either way, I was scared. It was as though I had been caught on a spider web for the last week. Feeling of anxiety, foreboding, tension filled my life. Then came the hallucination.
This track was not
He goes
found.
into
Maybe
depth
it
about
has been
him having
removed.
hallucinations of seeing things out of the corner of his eye, things in his house going on. He can't have any sleep. He's been shutting his blinds so he can like realistically stop thinking that things are like looking in his window, watching him. Just horrible, horrible stuff. Until he has this like overwhelming feeling to go to the overlook to see the city lights.
This is a fascinating part of the story, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. And he says,
I wanted to drive to the overlook point to see the city lights.
Says
I didn't know why I needed
it
to go there, but I knew I had to go. The closer I got, the more
or
urgent the feeling. When
removed
I
is the
arrived at
right
the point, I
word.
saw something that first startled me, but then it relaxed than I had been in a long time. Joe was there. He was out of his car, standing looking at the lights. He could tell from the look on my face that we shared some of the terrible experiences. Our conversation was unbelievably brief. You been back? He began, even though he knew the answer. Yes, we need to return. Tomorrow good? I asked. Yeah, noon. He got in his car, and I got in mine. I talked to him about his experience. Obviously,
I feel like I've heard that bar before. My Glock got a barnacle, but I came up with it, and I was like, oh, that's great. That works, but like, I'm not sure if it. Like, I'm not sure if I'm just pulling it out of my subconscious, and like, I've definitely heard it in a song before, or something to that effect. You know, you can't really worry about that shit, because, you know, it happens to every rapper. Every rapper, he's biting my style, you know, he's probably just, I don't know, it's probably just, what's the word? It's like subconscious, like, I can't remember what the phrase is, or term, but there's a term for it, where you like copy, but you don't really actually mean to.
I love that.
It's so
I love
good.
that little excerpt.
It's so good.
Just that the very, very quick back and forth is just so. I don't know why, but I always picture like an X-Files episode or something. Like,
Oh, I love
overlook of
X-Files.
The city,
Yep.
the city lights there, and then just this brief encounter, and then both these guys just get in their cars and go away. But what's weird about it is that he's like relieved to see Joe instead of being creeped out. I was always fascinated by that part. Whatever haze he's been under, it was like relieved
fire,
because almost as if
hey,
whatever
that's
was like
what's up.
puppeteering this plan was like
People
letting
like
go
the
for a
beat.
second. You're where you need to be, kind of thing.
Yeah, and both of them felt the need to go to this one point at the same time, and there's not even a discussion. Ted treats the story when he's writing it as if, like, of course I would want to go back to the cave. Why wouldn't I? When to the reader, that's the farthest thing he could possibly want to do.
Well,
It's such an
yeah,
interesting
it's like
little
becoming a
moment
major artist or
between the
something.
two.
In my opinion, it's one of the most impactful parts of the
spots
story.
anyways.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, because anybody else, if they'd be that, they'd be like, "What the fuck,
true.
Joe? You're here?" And like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
would
I just don't know
think that
how-
they would
like,
explode into a conversation.
I don't think you
but
can
no,
bot
they're just
stuff
like,
on
We should go back.
We need to go
Yep.
back.
Twitch.
We have to
Noon.
go back. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it would be
Which leads
easier
Ted
to get
go
people in
meet
the
with
door
B
if they
after
thought
his
people
interaction
was
with Joe,
sitting
and
in the
he says,
chat.
I drove over to B's house. When he answered the door,
You know, I know for a fact people do that. People see that there's two people in the chat, and they start. That's when they come in. They'll never come on zero. It's not a thing that happens. Well, sometimes they'll come on zero, but they only want you to feedback their song, which I'm okay with that. But last time I did it, the guy didn't even fucking follow me. It was like, fuck you.
looked like he was doing fine, somewhat happy. One look at me, his disposition changed. B looked
I should have said it before I spun it. I should have been like, follow me, and then I'll spin it. Because that's what I used to do. But I forgot to do I keep forgetting to do it.
dead serious. He just nodded his head.
Basically, they knew that they were going to go back to the cave. Part of this I liked because Ted ends it by saying like, "Oh, I just noticed that every light was on in his house," which is
I've
so
got a new
simple,
follower.
But that made it so creepy to me.
It's
Just like, I noticed
Alex.
that every single light was on in his house. It's just a quick little blurb.
B knew that something went down in the cave. Like, he was running, he smelled it, and at the very end, there's that mention that B cut the rope whenever the thing was, like, pulling on it, right? B knows something went down, but because he didn't go in that room, up until that point, you kind of have the idea, well, maybe he's free from whatever's plaguing Ted. Maybe B's doing more okay. And we've seen Ted's side. He's hallucinating. He leaves all the lights in his house on at
Oh,
night,
shit, this is
and
a
you're like,
long-ass
okay,
video.
Maybe B's not going through it, but when he visits B, B's like, oh yeah, please, you can stay at my house, sure, and all the lights are on. And you're immediately
Yeah.
told, oh no, B's got it too.
That's what I like you're saying is like the
Donut
writer
operator
tried to
commented.
put your guard down by having B be like, oh well, he didn't see it, so he's fine.
Yeah.
But I have no
actually,
notice.
He's just as tormented as them, and if anything, he's putting on a front to maybe
Where are they?
trick it, almost like you're not trying to give into the things you're seeing. So it's very creepy.
Oh, we got 6 lufts, dog. We got 9 lufts.
Preparations to return. He talks about how they're going to bring more first.
We got negative 27 lufts.
Video cameras. He's going to bring a pad and paper to write whatever he has to do. But they are determined.
Not sure if that's what that even means, but I'm guessing that's what it means.
And the conclusion of this story is so like hauntingly awesome. It's always stuck with me, and the fact that it's supposed to be like a blog post makes it so much better. And this is part of the ending here. He says, "Many of you don't agree with my decision to pursue this cave. I'm afraid I don't have a choice. If I am ever to experience restful slumber, I must return. If I am ever to walk the halls of my own home in peace, I must return. If I'm ever to exit the overworld and enter the subterranean world of a cave, I must now return. I no longer feel that I have a choice. I must return. For my family and friends who are reading this, I say, be at peace. I will conquer this cave. Then I will return and update this website immediately. I will include any photos we take in the cave today. And if you stop by my house, I will show you the video I have. I expect to be home later tonight or tomorrow at the latest." And that's the last post.
Danny Dollars met Riff Raff
such
today.
Like, I remember the first time I ended this.
Guessing
like,
they know each. Oh no, they know each other.
It does
I know for a fact they know each other.
One, it makes your
they
mind
made that
race,
fucking
obviously,
Paris
about, like,
Hilton
what was down
mixtape,
there,
didn't
obviously.
they?
But then it makes you think. I immediately thought of his family finding
Back in
this.
the
Like I
day.
thought of like the aftermath of that. I thought about like people back then reading this, because God forbid you read this the day it got posted, and then you check tomorrow. And you're like, wait, what the fuck? And you're like updating it. Oh my god! You know, like, what happened?
Yeah.
Who knows? It's so hauntingly just like beautiful in that way. Just that nice poetic ending. Ugh, man, it lingers with you. It's just so Lovecraftian. I mean, like it's just that perfect Lovecraftian end to where it's just so bleak. It's bleak without even being bleak, because Lovecraft would probably say something like the horrors, like we're all dead, like blah 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 blah. But really, it's just like, you know, I'll see you tomorrow, and that tomorrow never comes. And that's like the best part, realizing that there's no other post. Like you just kind of like scrolling down more, being like, wait, what the fuck? That's it? What happened? You know, it's so good.
I remember first time like thinking like, okay, what's next? And then it just stops there, and you're like, oh, that's what was next. That's what happened to him. I love how much we are given and how much is left up to imagination. We're given things like the boulder, things like the hieroglyph.
The boulder, the hieroglyph. Oh my god, yeah, we gotta watch Loki. But we gotta watch one more video. I said I was gonna. FL Studio 21.2 is out today. Sticking out your yacht for the Rizzler. You're so skibbity. You're so Phantom Tax. I don't really want to watch a cut video at all. This dude Daw is insane. What is it? It looks cool.
Sometimes you feel like your tracks are right there,
All right,
but they're
last
just
video.
not ready to export. There's still something missing.
Hello YouTube, welcome back. Today we're gonna be checking out a new DAW that has making a little bit of waves. It's called Blockhead. Single dev has been working on it. Colugo is the YouTube channel in which this is uploaded. It's got 46,000 views in 2 weeks. A lot of buzz, almost 600 comments. That ratio is big. It's a big ratio. We're gonna take a look at this, and then I also subscribed to their Patreon, in which I got an alpha version of this DAW. So we're gonna watch the video a little bit, and then we're gonna hop into the DAW and see what we can do.
Okay, so when you open the program, you're presented with this big sort of empty canvas.
Oh, will my
and
808
this,
slap
this
harder
playhead
if I
that
use this B
seems
shoe?
to move from left to right at a seemingly arbitrary speed. You could just place.
Okay. Wait, splice built in? Hang on.
You can place things on the timeline
JK.
here and.
Okay, so no grid.
But I always thought it would be nice if you could treat it as like this, just like blank canvas. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. This is my creative hub or whatever.
All I'm gonna say is that Mozart didn't have a grid, so it's not fitting. This video is sponsored by Extra. Extra's known for inventing the first trackable wallet. Now they're on a mission to upgrade all of your carry essentials. They make sustainable wallets, bags,
to create this tempo guide thing.
So you put in a tempo guide for a certain section of the song, 137 BPM. This guy's got the juice samples. Sheesh.
And you can whatever.
Oh, now we're snapping. Okay. Wait, that's kind of sick. I mean, this is just like basic DAW shit so far, but...
You can even create another tempo guide if you want.
Okay, we're going from 137 to 281. So you can overlap BPMs. Interesting. How would that even work? So it like blends in, so it goes like in between, or does it like float between them in some fashion? It's kind of crazy. This would be perfect for fake genres. Like a Def Jam, imagine.
Everything that we're doing here, by the way, is being constantly recorded to this loopback buffer.
Input buffer. The fuck does that mean? Oh, resampling live? Hang on.
Hello.
Yo, sample that. Hang on. Bitch battle just dropped.
Hello. So you get these sort of automatically generated slices, which is just, it just turns off. It stops recording automatically.
Vocal chop simulator.
When the volume goes below a certain level. And then you can just click to create a sample.
Oh, that was actually really sick. You just dragged it out. I'm sure there is an Ableton equivalent, but that was cool.
And then you can just click.
I mean, this is literally just an Ableton track.
Or you can just click and drag to generate your own slices.
Generate slices.
Which is just.
I mean, the pitching sounds good. I wonder if you can pitch the samples. It has honestly been 16.5 minutes of you can pitch in 17 different ways.
Effects.
Okay, destruction. I kind of want to see that. Go to that.
Here is, I don't know, a high pass filter. So these are all the same block, and if you change, like even if you open the envelope, you see it's the same block. You can edit it from different places now.
It's kind of interesting.
Everything will just happen automatically. So
it's pretty cool how it updates live. I do like that. It's pretty neat.
So anything that has an amp parameter will be affected, and anything that has a pitch parameter will be effective. So that's how things works by default.
Rhythm people go crazy with this, I think.
None of this is going to sound good, by the way.
Come on, man. Sounds pretty good.
It sounds terrible.
Whoa, what?
Whoa. This DAW is sweet.
I'm gonna drag in a splice rhythm loop and just go fucking crazy. Yeah, so after we watch this, I'm gonna make something in the alpha. I subscribed to his Patreon, it's called $1, and he has an alpha download. So I got the Windows version. We're gonna dip in and see what we can do. What is this?
We're gonna fucking dip right in, dude. Yeah, what is that?
Seahorse. Yeah, my bad.
This video is not really meant to be a tutorial. It's more just a
what?
There it is.
Explaining what Blockhead is and how it's different.
You belong to the city, Okie shit.
I don't know.
This dude's such a nerd. Yeah, he's a fucking software dev, dude. He's British. It's the two combos that make super nerd. Come
on. What else do I need to say? You can create more macros. I'm sorry.
You cut this out, player.
Yes, I'm sorry. This is the reason I did all this is because I'm insane. I know this is not
because I'm crazy. I'm random.
Way to design a door, but hopefully
this dude is he in a human. He. You know? Ooh, new skin alert. Hang on. Little orange Halloween vibe.
A manipulator will...
Pumpkin spiced DAW. Mod that guy.
Even though it's the same block, a manipulator will only affect the instances that it's intersecting with.
That's Blockhead. I got the Patreon. I gave him money. Come on, support the indie dev. Let's open it up. Blockhead. You can press F1 to learn the keyboard shortcuts. We gotta do that. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, we're not gonna do this right now, actually. All right, we got our block. We're blocking. I saw him go over here to samples, so there aren't any here. I'm gonna open up Splice to see if you can do what any real musician will do in the modern day is drag in a Splice sample. Okay.
Keep on, walk, just keep.
Okay. Dragging. Dragged. Holy shit.
Man, I want to be able to live stream on Instagram through this fucking thing, dude. But I do not want to have to log in on a third-party app. Fucking stupid, man. Why can't you just do it?
It's red. Placed? Whoa, okay. Oh, same as Ableton, zoom in. How do I add the BPM? I just want to like try and actually make a song, you know? Ooh, that's cool. Let's get a host drums. It's as good as any loop. Here we go. White. Nice. All right. Place it. Oh, hang on. We're loading. We're not responding.
Third-party
it's alpha.
app. I don't want him to have my
alpha.
fucking
Rose barely started working on it.
like password, dude.
What is happening?
My Instagram is like important to me. There's over 3,000 photos, and I've had it since like I was a kid. Like that's my shit.
It's okay. Can you recover your work? No. My fucking song. Let's try this in again. Okay. Oh, it's snapped.
Restream from OBS.
Okay, I can't drag it off the screen. I think that's the issue.
No, I'm not using
Send that
your
to him.
fucking thing,
Squish
dude.
that
I'm
bug.
not doing
Squash
it.
Okay, add synth. Burke. He was using Burke. Let's get Burke in here. Kind of looks like a troll face. How do I add a... Okay, add track. Nice. It does snap. What? Can I add reverb to that? That could be our tech host drop synth. Wait. Enhance. Wait, buzz. Okay, makes it like more soft, I guess. If I can make it like swoop up at the end, that'd be cool. Reverb swell that. Okay, cool. Diameter. Whoa. Wait, that's kind of sick. It's cool how it live updates the audio right in front of you. That is pretty dope.
I don't care if
you
it
get
has
really
a
good at it
good
and just see the
rating.
audio and just know. Okay, that envelope was kind of neat. Pitch. Let's pitch it down. Make it like a horn kind of vibe, hopefully. Very good. How do we add an effect? That's the next vibe here. Add effect. Here we go. Okay. Destruction. I wanted to see what this did. Bit reduction. Add track. Bit reduction down here. Set color override. Whoa. Pumpkin
Seems people on
spice.
Reddit like it, so.
Red. Let's go blue.
Built into OBS Studio.
Said it works top down, so anything
No extra
below.
bandwidth.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Thank you. So I gotta put this down here, and then.
Yo, should I use
So
this
top
instead?
down. I think this should work. Can't really hear anything. Drive. Oh, we don't have any drive.
Gub gub.
Amp. Maybe saturated just doesn't work. Has to be in the same grid. Oh. There we go, I think. Now we don't have any sound. We did it! We're so back. That is pretty cool how it changes the audio live if you put an effect above it. That's pretty fucking cool. Now let's add a reverb. That was actually the goal here. Space. Spring reverb. Insane. I'm gonna take off the saturator. I don't need that. That's kind of cool. Okay, how do I fuck with the reverb itself? Decay. Okay, so it's just baked in. So go like this, and we'll up the decay here, and it will
This is cool.
buzz out. Hopefully. Big decay. Size. Hang on. Here we go. This is our tech host lead. Ready? Why is it pitching? Saul loves to pitch. Okay. Pitch. Yeah, here we go. Just down to like -12.
Oh, gub gub.
Boom, dun, dun, dun. All right, let's go back to splice and get a bass line. Tech host, bass. That'll do. And then we drag it right there. Definitely not warping quite right, but we can just press S, like you said, and drag it over, and then fucking...
Live producer?
This is the modern warping method. Who's that granular shit he was talking about? You're gonna start macro nesting? Give me time. I think we need the bass just come in like off rip. Yeah. I want like a low one. That could work. Purple. Massive. Oh, cool. So double click, nest. That's pretty tight. We're already micro nesting at least. Baseline's going absolutely.
Click the add
just
post
degenerate.
button.
Okay, we gotta do a little mixing here. Turn this down, bro. Woo! Catch me in blockhead. Whoa, it's fucking huge. Baseline's nuts. Okay, it's our song so far. All right, maybe like a build up. So you can't use any MIDI aside from triggering samples. So
Yes, I would like that very much. Instagram has started to roll out Instagram Live Producer, which allows users
How the
to
fuck do I
stream
use that?
to their accounts using their favorite streaming software, like Ecamm. This means they can use multiple cameras, external microphones, and make really high quality content. But Not everyone has it yet. Here's how you can check if you have access to Instagram Live Producer. Go to Instagram.com on a browser on your computer. Log in and look for the Create button. It looks like this. If you click on that and you see the option for live video, congratulations. You have access to Instagram Live Producer.
Why don't I have it?
If that option isn't there, then you don't have access to Instagram Live Producer. But hopefully, everyone will have it soon. Follow for part 2 so you can learn how to set up Instagram Live Producer.
How the fuck do I get it? How to get Instagram Live Producer. I'm a producer. I can go on. I want to go on Instagram Live Producer. Do you know what I'm saying? I want the fucking Instagram Live Producer.
So you click on the live video feature, right? The live video, once you do that, you will see this page.
Motherfucker, how do I do it?
If you're a streamer or content creator, you need to know about this plugin.
I don't want to use a plugin.
Game-changing plugin that allows you to record, stream, and even capture clips retrospectively in a vertical format alongside your normal content. On top of all the capabilities, this opens up for clipping Instagram. If you're looking to restream to Instagram, stream keys can be a little bit hard to find, but not if you know where to look. All you need to be able to grab your stream key is this program called Yellow Duck. It's completely free, and all you need to do is log into it using your Instagram account, and it will output your RTMP URL and your stream key, which you can then input into your settings on your vertical canvas, then hit go live. One thing to bear in mind though, Instagram does have some limits on...
Wait, what are the limits?
Hard to find, but not down, and it will output this, then hit go live. One thing to bear in mind though, Instagram does have some limits on live streams, assumingly to decrease their server costs. So you'll only be able to stream to Insta for an hour at a time. You can immediately restart your stream, but just be aware that this is a thing.
Oh, okay, you can immediately restart it. How the fuck do I get the producer feature, dude? It'd be so much easier and so much less weird if I don't have to give my password to Yellow Duck.
My name is Jean Yoon, and I am a consultant, a content creator, and a business owner. As a part-time content creator, I work with brands on ad partnerships, and these partnerships take a lot of back and forth. And I use Adobe Acrobat to send and receive files, to make comments directly into the document that I'm working on with my brand partners. The comments tool allows me to comment directly into the document that I'm working on, whether that's feedback, a change, or whatever note that I want to make. The e-signature tool allows me to sign on the go from any device, making signing
You're not even allowed to do it. Yeah, it's against TOS.
Today on Photography, I'm going to take a look at Instagram as they continue to push the photography community out. Yeah, that's pretty much what they're doing. They have some news going around about some of their new features they're testing and coming up, and we're going to take a look at that because I think it's quite interesting on both sides of the spectrum. Y'all stay tuned. This is Twit.
Twit? You're a Twit?
This episode of Hands on Photography is brought to you by Melissa. Poor data quality can cost organizations an average of $15 million each year. Make sure your customer contact data is up to date. Get started today with 1,000 records cleaned for free at melissa.com/twit.
Jesus Christ, I don't want to do ads for melissa.com, please.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? I am Ant Pruitt, and this is Hands on Photography here on Twit TV. I hope y'all are doing well. I am.
Alright, bro, please tell
Too
me.
happy to hear that news, and since then, Instagram has definitely continued to march forward with their promise. Right after that, I mentioned another competitor to Instagram that's called Glass, and Glass is a subscription-based platform that says, you know what, we're taking algorithms out of it. Algorithms are not going to be in this thing. You pay a subscription fee. That's how we're going to be able to support this app, and we can still be a strong photography community. And from what I know, it's doing fairly well. I'm not an iPhone user, not an iOS user, because it's only available on that platform, at least at the time of this recording. And when I have this new feature that's called Instagram Live Producer, and quote, this will allow you to go live on Instagram using streaming software such as OBS, Streamlabs, etc., and through a stream key. This integration opens up production features outside of the traditional phone camera, including additional cameras, external microphones, and graphics. This feature is only available on Instagram.com. Now, this is pretty interesting stuff here because, all right, the pandemic, you know, when this thing started out back in 2020, it totally flipped the way content creators were doing things. You know, photographers, their gigs were pretty much cut down.
Yeah, he doesn't have any new. Yeah, he doesn't have any info on it. It's just, yeah, I guess there's probably no way to like get it. They just give it to you. They just gift it to you randomly, I guess. Maybe I need to stream more. I don't know.
Build up. BPM. I think we're at like 124 to 130, somewhere in there. Save. I'll save. Good show. Nice. That'll do. Drag this up here. Build up. Okay. See if we can do sidechain. So what we would do, we do add track, and then we would do add effect. How to add volume automation, utility, gainer. That's what we need. No icon.
Yeah, is there a way to like do this?
Huge. I love alpha. There's some shit I really like in this though. Actually, he needs to cook for a bit more. This might be
I don't know.
Actually, I can go like this, and then do.
Don't think so.
Over here and just like copy paste this as our sidechain. Whoa. Massive. This is gonna sidechain everything, hopefully. Amp. Nice. Okay. I think it's working, right? I think I heard that. I don't know if it's
not
working.
working very well.
Working? I don't think so.
No.
Shit. How did we add an effect to something? Add effect. Oh, wait. Add lane. We needed the lane. Then we put this here, I think. Add another lane. And then put this baseline in here too, I think. .jpg. Put this here. Space up here. Oh, yeah. And then enhance. And it's side chaining, I think. What? So, yeah, we probably want it like that. let's just play it. Sidechain's definitely working. I don't know why it's so like, actually, no,
Crunchy.
I think it's just working. I'm gonna save. Yeah, good shot. Saving. So I want this this synth to also be sidechaining. So add lane. Put this down at the bottom. I need 2 lanes. Not me getting in my lane. We need to drag these down to their lanes. No. That's right here. And then we drag the sidechain down here to the bottom lane. And then we drag these down to their lanes. And now it should be sidechained. Yeah. I feel like everything's like really loud and clipping.
funny as
bounce.
hell.
What if I hit bounce? See what happens. I'm gonna go here and we go. You can't. Okay, if you can only do it 1 by 1. Bounce. Oh.
Oh my. Put it so the amp goes up to max after the sidechain.
I need EQ. I really need EQ.
No,
just a high pass. Filters. High pass. Put this down here. That's our sidechain. Put this right here. All the way over here. So this is also going to high pass the bass.
No, it's just too loud. It's clipping so bad.
Put a seahorse filter on it. Yeah, that's what we got. Delete that. Delete that. Huge. Okay. We're cooking. First day on FL, yeah. It's definitely giving first day vibes for sure. Add effect. What do we need? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to EQ, but just the synth. So get out of here. I also need to bring the sidechain up to this other lane right there. Right click. Put this up here below. There we go. Now the bass has sidechain. Crash counter. Achievement unlocked. Blockhead crashed. Oh my god. All right, bring the basses up. Add lane. Bring this guy. I have to copy him. Shit. Copied to here. Right click. Up here. Bass. Sidechain. now. Basis sidechaining, synth is sidechaining, but now we can just EQ them independently. Add lane, add effect, high pass. We're so back. How do I scroll down? It's gotta be away. Oh, we can just middle click like FL. That's nice. I always like that. Okay, frequency. What do we want to, like, 280.
I don't know who this person fucking is. I'm not gonna fucking
Get this out of here.
Ooh, gub.
All right, it's huge. What is that? Voke? That's it's Burke, bro. Tongue position. Hang on.
That's cool.
Producing. Add lane. This DAW is so easy. So I wish you could warp. I don't know. That might be a thing, but still no tempo grid. Yeah, I think I couldn't figure that one out. It'd be nice if I did, though.
So off.
Very good.
So offbeat,
It's
yo.
like almost on time.
You couldn't BPM match it, dude?
We have two basses just going crazy. Probably don't even need that bass. I'm gonna mute them. All right. The next goal is to copy all of it.
That middle one is like
to not just
totally off.
Right click on a lane, add tempo guide. Whoa. Whoa. Does it need its own lane? I'm adding so many lanes. Okay, so this is
adding so many lanes.
50, wait, how does this even work? It's gotta be like 120 or something. It's finally happening. First single, my debut album, Micro Celebrity. Let's go. It's called So Absurd. Working on this one for a bit, add it, save it. That'd be sick.
So offbeat, yo.
Yeah, 125. Sure, okay, cool. And our tempo guide is still here. Huge. Actually, okay, that's kind of intuitive. Is there a way to not snap here? Oh my god. There we go. Then we got a cut right here. It's probably on a triplet though. Okay. Cooking. That sounds fine.
That's fine.
No! No!
Oh no, he's
After
fucking...
all that fucking chopping!
It glitched? No.
We're so it's over.
First fucking hit is so off.
Alright, so that's Blockhead. Hope you enjoyed. Kind of interesting. Definitely really early. And
this DAW is actually sick. Nah, I mean, it's pretty cool actually. It's like a. I could see somebody like speed running in a cool way. That DAW right there. All right, y'all. Just the end of the stream. Fortunately, no one came through, so I can't thank anybody. Other than Alex. Thanks, Alex. Kavanaugh for coming through. Hell yeah.